Okay, y'all, this is one heck of a week, y'all. All the shows coming out and stuff. But I actually got a chance to look at the movie. She's Your Queen to Perfection to be. Honey, coming to America. Dun dun dun. Honey, just in time, honey. We got Married to Medicine back on TV. We got Ruthless returning tonight. Queen Sugar, and then I finally got to see Coming to America, and I wasn't looking forward to it. I was like, I'm tired and sick. I'm sick and tired of hearing about all these darn remakes. Leave the classics alone. Leave it alone. I mean, unless it's something that can be an actual sequel, like the Friday series. Like Friday started out as a series, and technically there are 4 Fridays in a month. Sometimes there might be 5 Fridays. So it's like I didn't mind another Friday, because it's like, okay, we got the first 3 Fridays, and you know, with the theme there can be up to 4 Fridays. Same thing with Rush Hour. Rush Hour already started out as a series. But shows that were not meant to be series, or you know, sequels, trilogies, I don't want them to be touched. And Coming to America was one of them. But I'm glad I was wrong. So let's go into roll call. We had the character Randy Watson back, played by Eddie Murphy. You know, he played about 10 different characters on the show. Lisa McDowell, played by Shara Headley. I'm glad to see her back on my screen. I ain't seen her since darn on Catherine Shotterbehind on The Have and Have Nots, which returns in May for its final season. I'm going to be upset when that show goes. Y'all know Have and Have Nots is my show. Then we got Wesley Snipes playing the General Izzy. Then we got Prince Hakeem, which is Eddie Murphy's main character. Then you got Cleo, but not Cleo the Psychic, but Cleo McDowell, played by the famous John Amos. You know, our original doggone black father from Good Times, Stretching and Surviving. Good Times. Good Times. Okay, let me stop. I told y'all I sound like a banshee being strangled. But then you got King Jaffe Jafar, played by James Earl Jones. Amani Izzy, played by Vanessa Bell Callaway. Arsenio Hall playing Simi. Then we got Britt Moore playing Zamundan. It's a long list. Then we got the main character, one of the main characters, Lavelle, played by Jermaine Fowler. I seen him somewhere before. I don't know where I seen him from, but I recognize him from somewhere. And then, you know, you had a lot of celebrities throughout here. You had Rick Ross playing himself. You had Eddie Izzy, played by Rutimi. I recognize him from Power, even though I've never seen Power, but he's one of those recognizable faces. Like Lala and the main light-skinned guy that plays the main dude. I can't think of his name. I want to say Ghost is the white one. I don't know who the brown-skinned guy is. The one that, you know, everybody oohs and ahs over, honey. But I recognize this one from Power. Then we got Maurice, played by Louis Anderson. He plays a mascot for McDowell's. Clint Smith plays Sweet Sonny. And then we had Leslie Now, was Leslie in the original one? I don't... You know, it's been so long since I seen the original one. Did they improv that? Like, I don't know. Or, you know they can do the cinematography and all of that to make Eddie Murphy look younger. I don't remember this scene with darn on Leslie Jones in the original one. Was she in the original one? I don't know. Then we got Tiana Taylor as Bapoto Easy. Lunel as Livy. And then Salt and Pepper as they sells. Omi Javar as Bella Murphy. Mika, played by Kiki Lane. That's the older sister. Is that the guy from down going Friends? David Legal, Lyft Driver. Alot Love plays the youngest daughter. The Bathing Girl was played by Ashanti Rowe. Erin Quick. Then we got Garcelle Bouvet playing the Rose Barrier. Ring played by Tracy Morgan. They forgetting darn on now on this lineup list. I don't know why Eddie Murphy's daughter is not listed. She was the light skinned one. Mr. Duke played by Colin Jost. And then Trevor Noah playing Tatosi Babayana. Y'all know I'm Congolese adjacent, honey. I'm a Congolese American. So to my Igbo and Yoruba people who watch me, y'all give me the correct pronunciation, honey. And besides, I think Trevor Noah is actually of Nigerian origin, but I don't know what his character supposed to be. But my African folks, y'all get me together. Y'all know I'm African adjacent, honey. But anyways, let's get into my thoughts. It was a lot of corrective promotion. I mean, if that makes sense. And I'm going to explain. Because y'all know in the wake of the consciousness community and people, calling out colorism, this, that, and the third, and we're seeing the origins of dark-skinned women wasn't getting the prize roles back then. They only had to be loud, ratchet, belligerent, hood, overtly gangster, or if you was played in the leading character, you had to be a unapologetic, fierce badass, or the prostitute, the degenerate, or something like that. Whereas the light-skinned woman was always able to play the princess, the more demure, the sophisticated, the intellectual type. And coming to America, the original one had, our girl, let me look up her name, Cheryl Hadley, playing Lisa McDowell. But come to find out, it was Vanessa Callaway. She gave us some tea. She said she originally read for that first one as well. I want to say it was Vanessa Callaway. She originally read for it, but they gave her the cuckoo role where she was playing where she's acting like a dog. And then the other sister, the dark-skinned sister, I want to say she actually read for the role of Lisa McDowell too, but they had her play the ratchet, belligerent sister adjacent to the light-skinned sister that's more educated and all this, that, and third. So when I seen Leslie Jones hit the screen, I was like, oh, here we go again. Here we go. Because Leslie Jones, I hate to say it, she is average looking at best. She's not a looker. And Lord, I gotta be careful with my words because this is very similar to the old, except it's not similar to the OG situation, because OG it was actually a victim of colorism and all this, that, and the third, and they was ostracizing her, but she's really the most intelligent person there. Versus Leslie Jones, I'm getting hives and itches just thinking about how I'm going to phrase this. We all know Leslie Jones plays a mammy. I said it. Leslie Jones' overtly loud type of comedic style is very mammy-ish, I want to say. It's not the same as, and matter of fact, I can compare her to several dark-skinned women that's similar to her that does not go into that mammy stereotype. We got Monique, we got Samoa, we got Adele Givens. She's dark-skinned. But it's just something about Leslie Jones that gives like a dyke lesbian, an angry dyke lesbian. I said it. I said it, damn it. But, I was like, oh, Lord, what they going to do with Leslie? And then now they doing, Leslie done drug darn on Eddie Murphy and done had this darn on illegitimate son that they kept referring to as a bastard throughout the whole I said, damn, why he got to be a bastard? I mean, technically he is, but damn, do you have to emphasize him as the bastard child? Like, damn. And then, the oldest daughter felt some type of way because she supposed been training for this all her life. only for the son to come out of nowhere and get rights to something that she done trained for. All because of ancient tradition says that, you know, only a man can carry the darn on throne. Which I don't get where they got that shit from, talking about this has been tradition for hundreds of years, but traditional African history shows that women have led the charge. So I don't know why specifically in Zamunda we want to be exclusively patriarchal when history shows that, you know, there was matriarchs in addition to patriarchs. So I didn't get that level of bigotry. I mean, and then it was like, what was the darn on kingdom going to die with darn on Eddie Murphy? Was James Earl Jones not going to be accepting of the daughter taking lead? I mean, what was Eddie Murphy going to do if there wasn't his son out there? But they done went back to America, done picked him out. You know, he's you know, Lavelle said he wasn't going back unless his mama was able to go with him. So the mama packed up. Tracy eventually came in and was able to, you know, get him his swag and stuff right. I'm pretty much just summarizing what stuck out to me, y'all. This ain't really a full-on review, but this is what stuck out to me. And like I said, they got Leslie's character being this loud ratchetness, and then you got darn going Lisa McDowell being sophisticated first. But this is where I said here the corrective promotion came in. They eventually darn gonna allow Lisa's character to get drunk alongside Leslie, and then they became friends. They darn gonna connected by way of growing up in Queens and all of that. I said, okay, here we go. Darn gonna Eddie Murphy's been listening. He's either he's been listening or PR been listening, and they darn gonna put in the script what the darn gonna do with this next one. Because a lot of people complained about how light-skinned women are only seen as sophisticated and then all of this, that, and third, compared to you put a dark-skinned woman beside her, is the dark-skinned woman that got to be overtly darn on, you know, ratchet, ghetto, and belligerent. So it was nice to, number one, see Lisa act goofy sometime in the movie, get drunk, cuss Eddie Murphy out, kick him out the bedroom, all this, that, and the third. And then they also glammed up Leslie. I said, thank goodness. Thank goodness, because you know Leslie, she's one of those people. She don't mind being stereotyped. Like if you just have her play the mammy role, she's almost content with that to a detriment. Like and I hate it for her, but every time I see her, she's always stereotyped as a loud, overt mammy like character. So when they actually glammed her up and stuff, I was actually nice to see darn on Leslie glammed up for once. I said, come on through, Leslie. Finally giving us beauty in your darn on unique type of way, honey. But I digress. Another thing that stuck out to me was the fact that with the daughters, the light-skinned daughter was able to fight in addition to the darker-skinned ones. Because once again, another thing that you know, color channels such as Chrissy and Paris Milan has pointed out was that, you know, when it came to like Black Panther, you had all these dark-skinned women who were like these warriors, but when it comes to light-skinned women, you don't see no light-skinned warriors. So it was nice to see that the light-skinned daughter, who is actually is one of Eddie Murphy's daughters in real life, she was actually darn on just as skillful in the you know, the martial arts, and she's just as much of a combatant as her sister. So that was another corrective promotion that I seen thrown up in there. Another twist I seen was, unlike the original, where Eddie Murphy ends up marrying a black American, a light-skinned one, Lavelle ends up choosing between Tiana Taylor, who is playing Babato Izzy, and who was the girl that he ended up ultimately going with? Is it Marimbe who plays Nazima? Let me see. Yep, that's her. Marimbe. I guess she must be African in real life, y'all. Y'all tell me, is Marimbe is she actually of African descent. I mean, it would make sense if they actually choose some Africans to play, African roles. I mean, shout out to us Black Americans, but you know how we get upset when, we have African folks play our historical characters. Old girl who's over there in the UK who done fucked up darn on Edmund Tubman, honey. And now she supposed to be playing Aretha Franklin. It's like, and she's one generation removed from Africa. And we gave her hell, but at the same time, but the difference is we playing fictional characters versus that bitch is over there playing darn on real life historical black people. So it's not exactly congruent, but it was still nice that they actually had some actual African folks in there instead of black people pretending to be African. So if she's indeed African, it was good that they had a legitimate African woman in there. But yeah, she is a beautician, and that's how she met Lavelle, because she was styling his hair and all this, that, and the third. And we end up hearing about how she wanted to be a business owner, a beautician, but women are not allowed to own businesses in Zamunda. I'm like, what type of darn gone backward shit is this? I'm like, Eddie Murphy, are you serious? I mean, being married to Lisa all this years, she ain't convinced you that the women's suffrage shall end. Like that's why we had the women's suffrage movement and stuff here, because women wasn't allowed to vote. Women wasn't allowed to have businesses and stuff and had to be the house, just head of the house and all of that. It's like women have come a long way to now to the point that I think a majority of business owners and bosses are now women in America. And darn going black women are proportionally getting more degrees than any other race, despite the fact that, black women are about 6% of the American population. So with that being said, I'm surprised that, Lisa McDowell's character was darn gone very complicit with the fact that black women ain't able to own business, but considering that she's sitting high and mighty as the queen, since it doesn't affect her, she didn't think about how other women, like not all the women just want to be darn on service to the men. Like you had the women darn going literally bathed in the men, and vice versa. I will say there's some equality on that now, because we seen Leslie Jones had her a personal darn on a coochie rubber, honey, a coochie cleaner. So just like darn on her son was getting rubbed up by the darn on professional bathers, honey, Leslie was getting her coot cat darn on rubbed up on a couple times too. So I guess there is some equality on that. But the fact that the women can't own businesses, oh hell no, no. Get it together, Zamunda. But yeah, he ended up falling in love with her, to the point where he runs back to America after overhearing that, he was basically a chess piece. He was a necessary, bastard, lucky bastard child that done came into the picture just at the right time, because the father is too much of a scared bitch to darn gonna fight Wesley Snipes' character. So, since he didn't want no darn gonna smoke from Wesley Snipes' character, honey, he darn gonna agree that the son of his can marry Tiana Taylor's character. But darn gone, his son fell in love with the barber who wants her own business. So they go and darn gonna pack the mama up, and Tracy Morgan's character run back to America and about to darn gonna get married by Wendy Watson, aka the darn gone crackheaded darn gone pastor, I want to say. Was he also the pastor? Once again, it was played by Eddie Murphy. He was playing like 10 different characters, y'all. Y'all correct me. But darn gone, that's when the light bulb goes off with Eddie. Eddie darn gone realize he fucked up, aka Prince Hakeem. Now King Hakeem, because the father at this point, that he done died. I done glossed over the fact that they done had a whole funeral for him while he was alive, and he ended up dying on the spot. So with that being said, now King Hakeem goes and darn gone temporarily halts the darn gone wedding. Then he ends up agreeing that they can get married, only for them to say, well, let's take it back to Zamunda. So everybody packs up and goes to Zamunda. But meanwhile, Wesley Snipes' character tried to darn gone overtake darn gone King Hakim's empire in his absence, only for the sister all alone that was training for this to whooped his motherfucking ass, honey. And I was here for it. And then just as she was losing, honey, darn gone, what's his name? Simi done came in with the other two daughters. Honey, they darn gone gave it to his motherfucking ass. And I was so here for it. So we had that moment. They got back to Africa. Tiana Taylor's character done got let down, but she seemed like she wasn't really for it any damn way. And that was basically it. Everything's happily ever after. And then here comes the final twist. Because at first I was still sad. I was like, this is still fucked up. After darn on the daughter done literally defeated the darn on enemy. Something that your motherfucking ass couldn't do. You still going to give it to the darn on son. Now, at the same token, it's like both of them are in an awkward situation. Because it's like the brother and the daughter is being compared to who's going to take the crown. This, that, and all the third. And it's like, he really don't even want it. But he would take it, and he actually has a birthright to it. Because it's like, well, hell, you done darn gonna be absence for him all his life. He done grew up, darn gonna had to live the hard knock life compared to your privileged daughters. But at the same time, the privileged daughters are not necessarily just lounging around resting on pretty. They actually, you know, have skills, as you can tell, for when the time comes, they can defend the kingdom. So it's like, well, damn, now I feel bad for both the daughter and the son. But it seems like the son ends up getting the ambassador role to the United States. And, you know, Eddie Murphy done finally darn gone shoved out the misogyny out the Zamunda and has allowed for the daughter to now be the up-and-coming queen when he passes away, honey. And hopefully he changes that law so, you know, old girl can be, you know, the soon-to-be daughter-in-law can have her darn on beauty shop and stuff in Africa. And speaking of darn on Africa, honey, her hair was laid. And y'all know I've been getting on my Nigerians. And, you know, I'm going to tie this in with a real-life situation. Now, old girl, what's her name again? Marimbe? Marimbe, yeah, I think that's her name. Once again, my Africans correct me. Girl, how far is Zamunda from Nigeria? You need to also put one in Nigeria as well to get the girls updated with the time with the wigs and shit. I'm just saying, girl, cause honey, with all this money that I be seeing the Jackie Annas and stuff of the world have, honey, it be taking them a long time to get up to date with the hair, honey. So it's like, when you get your license, honey, I mean, when you get your business license and everything in Zamunda, please darn gonna look out for your fellow folks in the neighboring countries such as Nigeria. And yeah, I said it, honey, because y'all Nigerian women, honey, some of y'all weave, most of y'all weave game be slipping, honey. Y'all don't be up there on the weave game. But that pretty much ends everything out. Like I said, it was actually very good. And then we seen the ending where John Legend was actually the singer. I said, come on through, John Legend. You are my queen to be. So everything was good. And I would dare say I'm going against the grain by saying this. Because everybody's caught up in the nostalgia of coming to America and the impact that it's had on the community over the years. But if we're really analyzing this as far as actual footage and stuff is concerned, and the clip-by-clip play, I would actually say that this is actually better than the original. And I thought I would never say that shit. Because rarely is sequels better than the original. It's like, okay, it did good. It wasn't bad like I thought. But, honey, I'm actually going to go on the limb and say this was actually better than the original. Because, like I said, it was a lot of corrective promotion at play, and it all worked out. Like I said, from the light-skinned daughter being equally badass to the dark-skinned daughters. It wasn't none of this darn going, one is smart and the one is a Dipsy and Ratchet one like they did in the original one. And the fact that the son had two beautiful Zamunan women to choose from that were both dark brown skin, because I know some people want to say, well, technically Tiana Taylor is brown. Well, you know, the bitch ain't light skinned. She ain't too far lighter than me. I say darn gone Tiana Taylor's maybe 2-3 shades lighter than me. She ain't light skinned by no means. So the fact that, you know, he had two beautiful brown girls to choose from that is not like a Holly Berry's complexion, but more closer to my complexion, that was a darn gone good, you know, nod to the dark skinned sisters. Also, like I said, the beautiful hairstyles, the fashions, the combat skills, the comedy, everything was working just well. Even darn gone Leslie Jones' character getting glammed up versus Lisa McDowell being more goofy towards certain scenes. Everything was balanced just right. It wasn't nothing out of place in my humble opinion. Everything was correctively done in my humble opinion. But what are y'all thoughts? Like I said, those are my thoughts on Coming to America. You know, Coming to America. Y'all leave y'all thoughts down below. Now, only thing I was a little bit upset with was the fact that they darn gonna really downplay Vanessa Callaway character. Like, the bitch darn gonna bark the whole episode. I'm like, oh no. Now, that's one thing I did not like. The iconic Vanessa Callaway, who most people know her more than darn gone Lisa McDowell, because Vanessa was the one that stole the show with her look. Like, with her in that fashions and the hair and everything from the original one, honey, Lisa McDowell wasn't darn gone touching darn gone Vanessa Callaway. Honey, Vanessa Callaway is what most people dress up like even nowadays. Even Beyonce dresses up as Vanessa Callaway for stuff such as the Met Gala. Don't nobody be trying to dress up as darn gone Lisa McDowell. And she's the whole queen, honey. So, the fact that they darn gone had her come back and, you know, she was under this darn gone dog curse where she was and she was looking like an old ratchet. I was like, oh my gosh, she reminds me of old girl's Aphrodite's character from Holiday Heart. You know, where she was running away from the drug dealer and she was trying to get the bike, you know, for the daughter. And, you know, that's the tear-jerking moment when, you know, she finally darn gone gets back in her daughter's life only to get run down by the drug dealer. And she was trying to get the bike that the girl wanted as a child. That I think she sold the original bike for some crack. But she darn gone redeemed herself and towards the end. But she got ran over in the midst of trying to get away from the drug dealer. But yeah, they had her looking like old girl from darn gone Holiday Heart. I said, oh hell no. And then even towards the end where, you know, Wesley Snipes thanks Prince Hakeem for curing the curse of the dog curse of Vanessa Callaway character, she still pretended to be a dog and stuff towards the end. I was like, oh no. I'm like, we ain't getting no legitimate acting scene from darn gone. So that's the only thing that pissed me off. Was the fact that the iconic Vanessa Callaway was reduced to barking like a bitch throughout the whole darn gone show. I mean, we did not hear not one word out of Vanessa other than a bark. I said, oh, hell no. Now, that pissed me off. But other than that, everything else was perfect. The fashions were perfect. The acting, minus Vanessa Callaway's just having a bark, was perfect. Tiana Taylor, just like all the other celebrities, they just had a bit role. The ones that are not known for acting, they were either playing themselves or they had very limited darn gone talking scenes. Just like the guy from Power, Tiana Taylor, she just had one. And then I seen in the excerpts where she was forgetting her lines. I was like, now girl, bye. What line? You did not have much to say to even forget. But I digress, girl. Just when I darn gonna had you on my list to play a certain DC comic book character, I pinned you as one of the girls that could have played Vixen. But girl, if you were struggling with this and you didn't even have no lines really, I don't think you ready to you know, play no actual DC comic character where you at the forefront. Because like I said, that bitch could have played darn gone Vixen all day long, honey, if you are familiar with the DC comics. But yeah, those are my thoughts I'd love to know y'all thoughts down below. Feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see y'all soon with more videos. Mwah.